everybody. I'm gonna start up here. I got 9 a.m. Apologize a little bit late today. Kind of a lot going on in the morning with school starting, so I had to take care of some stuff for my daughter. But I just wanted to get some TA going, at least before the market open here, and then we'll talk a little bit about the ATA and the copy trade and all that. Let me open up here. So let's talk about the SPY briefly. Obviously, yesterday, we talked about there's a lot of hype with NVIDIA and their earnings report. The expectation or anticipation, I guess, was that we would be bullish on NVIDIA. My mention to you was that although I think we would be bullish, which we ended up, be careful chasing the candles is what I said, right? And so we'll talk about NVIDIA more in depth, but you can see this was the pump that we had right after market close, and then you can see so far it's just been kind of ranging, right? But I mean, it pumped up pretty high. I mean, almost 520. So it was a great push north, and that is what is causing the SPY to propel north as well. So the question of the day is that going to hold? Is it enough to hold, right? And so you have on the SPY, we do have a little bit of a triple top forming here. As far as how we traded the SPY yesterday, I just wanted to kind of bring up the, let's go to the 2 minute. Nope, I don't need that alert anymore anyways. I got a couple alerts just to see if we were pulling back down. But you can see yesterday this was market open. We did have a long. It did call this long all the way up until here, where it did finally call it short, 443.26, which we did get a rejection down to 442.47. Then it flipped back into its long, which played out perfectly. Now you do have a little bit of a long short going on here, but keep in mind this is after hours, right? And so after hours is a little bit different because the volume is just so slow. And so, but either way, I mean, you look at it, you have this short here. It did call the long flip when the market opened. Now, keep in mind, if you look at here, this is what we talked about before when people get confused. We can't trade this anyways because it's after hours, but this is when the market ended. This is when the market opened at, right? So it just ended where it was looking slightly bearish. It opened slightly bullish, right? Both, no matter which way played out. But you can see then we have our short, little minor scalp, and then our short there. So currently on the 2 minute we are short. We do have the triple top, and on the extended hours anyways, we are below that 200. So I would look for a potential continued pullback. That's going to depend on the tech stocks, right? Which we'll touch briefly on that. But as far as the indicators, the way they went, it all played out really well. So the gap fill sniper is on the 2 minute showing pretty balanced actually right now. So it really could go either way from that one. 5 minute, same thing. Again, you do have some bullish divergence here, right? So we might have one more little push up. This triple top, the only way this thing is going to play out is if this neckline can break. But I can see if we do get a breakdown 443.90 and we begin to see that push north, right? That neckline is going to be huge because if it rejects this neckline, down it goes. Like really, it's going to come down in a hard way, right? Because it's going to chase all the way down there. However, with the news being so bullish, people ride the wave. There's FOMO, so I would be super, super patient with your puts today, but I would not chase the calls either. I would just be really patient today with your entries. You're not going to want to take any kind of put unless you get back up to this resistance level. I know that if this breaks, it's going to fall like crazy. But I would not trust anything unless it broke this 200 on the 5 minute, which is like 443.81. So otherwise, we could just see some continued push north. So the range I would trade today, like I said, would be anywhere in here is not a bad area for a call. A better area would be somewhere in the 444 range down here. My thinking is that the market's going to it's going to open up possibly a little bit pullback and then push north, but it really it just depends on these tech stocks, right? So I'm going to flip to the tech stock briefly. Let's look at Nvidia, or this is Apple actually. I will look at Apple real quick. Yeah, I mean, you can see Apple, we talked about this yesterday, right? We are getting that golden cross. That hasn't happened since back here at 193 at the death cross. So as long as we continue to find support on this 21 SMA, right, we're going to have further upside. We do have a little bit of bearish divergence, and we did flip red on the 1 hour. So, you know, again, I'd watch this 21 SMA if you're trading Apple. But, you know, Apple's looking like it could be pretty bullish. And remember, that's one of the lead ones that push the SPY. And so Microsoft, we got support there, which we anticipated right there. That did continue to explode. We are rejecting at this prior high here. Microsoft's a little bit over bought territory. I would suspect at least a retest of if you're looking to take a call to ride it up to the 351. I'd wait for a retest around 329, maybe even 324, somewhere in this range, right? Wait for that retest, double bottom, something that's showing we're just continuing up, right, on Microsoft. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the tech stocks. Today's call may not be the full 30 minutes because I don't want to go too much into market open, but Google had a nice run like we talked about off of the support level, just like Apple. It's near resistance levels, right? I would like I said, I would take this line here. I have a lock on it. I would just kind of true that up like that, and I'd pull it up. So I would be really careful as it approaches 136 because it likely could have a pretty good rejection from there. Amazon's not quite as bullish shape, but it does have its golden cross, and it is above the 21. So I would not feel comfortable taking a put with that. So let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia is going to be a news thing right now. I mean, it's just, I wouldn't, if you caught this pump and you caught this pump, awesome, more power to you. I would not chase the call. There's going to be some serious resistance in these areas. So you can see this line here. Let me mute the harmonic one here. This line here, right, we have our resistance off of there. Let's see. And it's from there. So it's not super strong, but there's a chance that it could be off of this wick, right, instead of this one. I did that one because it's the lower. So depending how you play that wick, right, I mean, it could be there or it could be as high as here, right? And so now you're at the peak of that wick. So let's play the high. So if we do get one more pump, right, just through FOMO, kind of like Apple did not too far back, right, I would continue to see that drive, and then I would say right around 540, that thing's just going to take an absolute nosedive. So I would not, even though I know we have a massive gap, you know how I am on gap fill, I wouldn't touch a put on Nvidia right now, but I would not chase this call. I would wait for this to hit its head and then ride that sucker back down. And again, that's going to affect the SPY greatly. So the dollar is still struggling to kind of hold this line. It broke it, lost it, reclaimed it, and so if we can flip below this 200, the dollar is going to drop and we're going up. It's about simple as that. We do have kind of a rounded bottom here at the top right there, so we could get a little cup and handle and then a continuation. But again, I would watch that trend line for the dollar. So Bitcoin got a nice little bounce. This is the bounce that we talked about yesterday. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. But we said that we were ranging. I had mentioned I don't really know that I like the drop quite yet because we weren't really pumping any kind of trend north. And so typically you have like a rising wedge or a flag or something that going north right before a big drop. Now, we did get a fall right here on Tuesday, right? So it did end up breaking that. I think that was Tuesday I made that comment. So we did actually fall back down. What I did say on Tuesday, though, is that we were ranging, and that if we did continue to stay below this, right, that we would see a retest. And so we actually did almost see a retest, actually got a higher low, which that once it found support, right, pump, 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 that's when it came back, created a higher low again, and that's what causes this FOMO explosion. We did get a rejection off of 26.8, which was what we talked about. This was important because of the fact that we are in this kind of death cross, right? And so right now it's really just in a squeeze between the 21 and the 200. You can see it's actually a little bit below the 21 right now. So my anticipation is with the market is if the tech stocks continue to drive today, then Bitcoin's going to do the same. I would watch for a flip of 26.8. If it does flip that, we're going to have some crazy upside and making it all the way to 27.9. Maybe not today, but next few days. Now the caveat to this, guys, is the markets are pumping, right? And that's awesome. Tech stocks, are pushing it again. There's a lot of retail earnings that were not up, and so plus we have Powell speaking tomorrow at 10 a.m. And so this could be just the ride of the high of all the tech stocks, and then Powell comes out and says something super bearish, right? And then everybody's going to take profit, because if you think that the people that bought Nvidia down here aren't going to take profit up here just because Powell says something about recession or leans towards that, right? You're nuts. So now the caveat to that is he may come out and say something more positive, right? Bullish, and then that would just absolutely explode the markets because of the momentum that it has. So this is why we scalp. This is why we use our indicators. Looking at the Harmonic Tracker Pro, the 5-minute called this long here, and it did flip into a short right here. So it might be onto something, right? We might market open, drop down into here before it finds some support and then pumps back up. So the 5-minute, I don't trade a lot on those indicators. I rely more on the 2, but let's see. 15, we haven't really got a short yet. We did get that double bottom, or double top, and we have bearish divergence, but we did get an ABCD extended pattern. We got the long call on that, but we do not have any short call on the 1 hour right now. Just looking here. The daily, we're aiming back up. Yeah, so again, with the SPY, guys, the most important thing about the SPY that intrigues me is that we had this trend line we were following. No matter how you adjust this angle, even if you take these peaks up here, right, we are still above it. We are still in a golden cross, and so we can delete these lines from yesterday. So we are in a golden cross, and we haven't been in that since back here, which was 453, right? So as long as we stay above this 21, I would take the retest scalps and ride it north and just ride the trend, similar to here, right? Once we got the death cross, you just retest, ride the puts off the retest. So you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really good trades. So similar situation here, right? If you continue to get the retest, just do 1, 2, 3. Don't just chase it at the peaks, right? Wait till it gets that retest. So, all right. I'm gonna jump over earlier onto the ATA, and so you all know those who were trading it yesterday. We only took 2 trades. We had the put. It took a put, took a call right after. And with the tight stop loss, the call played out. The put ended up stopping out. I know some of you had mentioned that your trade did not close. We're looking further into that today, but the issue seems to be more on the Tasty Trade side, and the hard part we're having with recognizing it is because when you do the individual closings, they're closing fine. Like mine's closing fine. But with copy trade, it's a little different. We send more of like a bulk batch, right, over to them. And that seems to be where, for whatever reason, they are rejecting one here and there on the accounts. Now, in past situations like BitGet, they would, when we get a rejection, it tells us clearly exactly why it rejected. Tastytrade does their API stuff a little bit different. They don't actually tell us anything because it's all within your account, right? And so the rejection notice that we get is just something super vague that is hard to understand why it even rejected, right? So for today, we're going to be analyzing some stuff. So I'm not going to run the copy trade today. Yesterday we talked about it in the trading floor. It seemed there was only one person that didn't have a trade that closed. Terry, I don't know if you're watching this. I know you mentioned that a trade might not have closed on yours too. You're going to have to close those on your own side. You can close those just by going to trading ATA. You click on that, and then you can click close from there, or you can do it directly from your exchange. And then I'm going to try to see if there's a way to pull up the error on the actual account side so y'all can look at the errors and maybe give it to me. At the end of the day, I know it's not, the greatest answer or reasoning, but we can package our code, we can send it all over, right? But if they reject what was sent, we can't really control that, unfortunately. So we're going to pause the copy trade for now. I'm going to assess that today, and I'll let you know kind of what we decide. I want to get a more firm answer with Tastytrade as far as why the bulk orders are rejecting one here and there. I don't know if it could just be something you did on your account. It could be a setting that you was changed. If you didn't change anything, right, then it makes no sense, because the code that we send, it sends over a message code that just simply says, okay, log in, execute this trade, and log out, right? And so there's nothing changes. So if something opens, it theoretically should close. So we're working through that. I like I said, I wish I had a better answer. I know many of your trade did close, even though it wasn't ideal, still a stop loss on that. So we're going to be reassessing that. So for right now, temporarily, we're going to be pausing the copy trade. I'm going to focus my huddles more on the live trader, and then probably by this weekend I'll have more of an update on the copy trade, or hopefully sooner, but it just depends on us being happy with Tastytrade's answer, right? And we are working on the back end as well to bring in other brokerages and stuff that seem to be wanting to work with us. But at the end of the day, like the same thing I'm going to tell Tastytrade, right? If they can't have a consistent, stable execution of what we're sending, then we just can't use them, right? And so, but I don't want to go down that path, because the single orders seem to be fine. My live trader was fine. My live trader fired fine yesterday. So that's kind of where we're at with it, right? So talking about the live trader yesterday, I wanted to show you. So we only got one trade out of it yesterday. Morgan, I know you set it up with me, but so we set up our parameters, and this was the range that we opened. What we had done is we set up a put. So this was our first put, to take a put if it hit 440.2. So the cool part about our code, right? You can't see it because the white line's here, but I'm gonna delete that. The cool part about our code is, notice it never took the put. So it came up, rejected, it blew past it, stayed above it, and it just let it go. Never took the put, which is amazing, right? That's what we want, because otherwise we're stuck in a put, right? And we just hit stop loss. The way that I set up my strategies when I do my live trader is I have my upper range, I have my lower range. So it would have took a call if it hit here, right? And it was really, really close to taking this call, but I was off by just a little bit from the opens. It would have taken a put if we broke and continued, and then I did a further continuation, which I kind of wish I did it a little bit lower, obviously, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I didn't want to risk it too much. I was basing off of this prior resistance. I said if this resistance can hold, I don't want to take a call, right? So I had to get it above that, and so that's why I did that. And you can see it worked out well, because it didn't end up taking it right here. It didn't take it here. Kind of continued up, didn't take it. And then it pumped up here, And then the moment it broke my line, now it threw it into a call, and you can see this was only, you know, a 5-6 minute trade, and it took its profit. So we only got one trade. I was busy in the afternoon, so I couldn't watch it. But when you're doing live trader, if you see a range break out and you see this trade, and you begin to see support holding like this, you know, you can adjust your range. Don't be afraid to. Like I could have, after it took this trade, when I saw it hit support, higher high, higher low, right? Then when I seen it kind of like the oscillations tightening like this, right? I could have came in here and said, okay, after this last pump, when I had this candle here, you know, we have a new level of support, right? And then I could have set it up to take that long there. On the flip side, this was a heavy resistance level. I could have set this to take a put. What it would have done. Let's just show you the shoulda, woulda, couldas right in the last 5 minutes here. So if we set the put at 443.13, so let's just adjust this one. So 443.13. This is what's awesome about the live trader is notice it wouldn't have got caught in the put here. It didn't take it. It pumps it down, and I mean you can't say I'm just throwing out a number, right? Because that was where my line was. That was the TA. So if I threw out that based off my TA, it wouldn't have taken that trade till it was coming back down. It would have took this, boom, took another win, right? And if I wouldn't have done this anyways. But let's say this bottom one. This is what's nice is if you wanted to do more trades, I could have unchecked that. And look at this. It would have hit 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. And just because of that. This is the power of it. I do use this at times, just not a lot. I use this more when I can watch it. Because if it breaks certain levels, I just want to stop it right away, right? So if I can keep an eye on it, if I'm working, it's on a screen over here, right? I'll let it trade multiple times because, I mean, you look at that put. Obviously, it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But it's a heavy resistance level. So there's no... there's nothing really bad about, taking a consistent put if it wants to range and continue to hit that level, right? And so that's how to play that. I don't know, Live Trader, like I said, I've enjoyed it. I think it's awesome. So let's talk about like the range that we're at now because it's going to be all new, right? So we're going to reset. We're going to remove our drawings. This is how I set up the Live Trader. Since we didn't do the ATA side of it, I'll just I'll do more on the Live Trader here. So I'm gonna go to the 1 hour. Now, here's what I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't like, and this is what I've been talking about, right? So I'm gonna put a line right here, I think. Okay. Now we are above that in the pre-market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this as my white one, kind of my middle line, right? So let's find an upper. So our upper is going to be probably somewhere around here. So we'll make this red, and then let's find our lower support. Really, it's not down until down here, but we could potentially find some support within this this prior range here, but it might be a little bit close. Let's set it like about right there. That'll give us a nice little little boxed in zone, right? And so now I'm going to go back to my 1 minute, and I'm just going to reset the chart. Let's take a look at how that looks a little closer, right? So this is where we were yesterday. What was resistance, right? We are now marking as support. We have our white line, right, which is gonna be very crucial today because if we stay above this, we're definitely going here. If we flip below this, we're going definitely down back to the 441. So it's gonna be a crucial area. So for me, I'm gonna set up my first call to be off of this line here. So we're gonna say like we'll just go do an even 442, and then just remember change the date. We'll do 9:30 is fine. I don't know why that says negative. So strike price we'll do 0.5. We're going to do the 5 contracts. We can't do 2 days, so let's just do 1. Yeah. I'm not going to do, it's only a 1-day contract, so the risk is not as much, so I'm probably not going to run a stop loss on it. So that's my call setting. If you guys want to follow. Sorry, my dog's dreaming below me. Apologize. I was wondering, I'm like, what is that noise? All right, so that's our I always set up a call based on a bounce, right, where I want to see that fall. Now, I could set up another call here later in the day, but it's too close. I don't like that because market open could literally just reverse this like crazy. So I don't want to touch that. So my continuation call would be more if it breaks in this level, I want to ride it up. So let's look and see where. So we definitely want to break 445 for us to run. So I would say 440. I'd say if we could break 445.50 might be a good one. So let's set that. Let's say 445.50. 24. We're doing the 1 day. Let that roll. Okay, so our calls are now set to where if it comes down here and hits this, it'll take a call on the way back up. If it breaks through, and we'll catch that continuation. So the puts, we're going to want to set it up here somewhere. So 470, I'd say 446.80 would be my first rejection put. So 1, 24, 446.80. A little bit of room before it gets to that one, right? But we don't want to take any crazy risks on a put in this range, because if it continues to hold this, it's going up here. There's no point. So our continuation fall one, I would like to see it break this resistance level and continue back down. I would say 440. I'd say 443. 443 even should be a good one for our continuation. So we're just gonna go 443. So we have a little bit of a wider range today than we did yesterday, but it's going to, you know, if we get enough movement with the news and everything, it should be fine. It's not going to capture everything. The purpose of Live Trader is not to continuously scalp and capture everything. It's to take good TA, set your parameters, and go about your life. And if you get 1 trade, 2 trades, 3 trades out of it, right, you're green. So this is more of a way to earn some money while you're busy. So that is my Live Trader, guys. We do have 9:30, so I'm going to stop here. I'll answer more questions in the trading floor as I can. I'm going to open up. I can open up the trading floor today. I do have something going on, so I'm not sure how long I'll be in there, but I will definitely open it up here right now just to be able to answer any questions that y'all have. So I will see you guys shortly. Hope you guys